In this video, we're going to show you how to make your own anime using Vidu AI. If you want to see the anime trailer we made first, click here, and then come back to this video so you can find out exactly how we did it, so you can do it too. Let's go. The first step was coming up with the concept. We had the idea of making a cyberpunk anime trailer that paid homage to both classic anime masterpieces like Ghost in the Shell, as well as modern series like Cyberpunk Edgerunners. The concept we came up with is called Deadlink. It's about a rogue government task force that comes across a dangerous method for discovering and dispatching enemies of the state. Once we had the concept, it was time to come up with the style. LookDev is the process of developing the look of the project. A great way to do this is through references. One method we use is to find inspiration on sites like ShotDeck and ArtStation. This can give you an idea of the kind of style you want to go for. Another great way to develop the look that we used on this project is prompt experimentation. We used Midjourney to test out different prompts and see what kinds of unique results we could get, and then use that to determine the look of the film. Since we used image to video for this project, we had to generate images first and then use those images to generate the videos later. In Midjourney, we used those same prompts we developed for LookDev and then made adjustments to the prompts until we had a solid style we could reliably generate images for. Midjourney actually has a model specifically for creating anime-inspired images called Niji. Just select a Niji model from the drop-down menu. The higher the number, the newer the model, but for these we used Niji 5 because it allowed us to use the expressive modifier to get a look closer to what we wanted. Next, just enter your prompt. Here's the main prompt we use to get these images. Just make sure to replace the brackets that say subject with whatever you want it to generate an image of. For instance, cyberpunk woman or cyberpunk mech. You can even just put a style here by simply typing cyberpunk. You can also modify this even further by changing the date reference where it says 2020s to a different range like 1980-1990, or you can use a newer Niji model. The possibilities are endless. Once you have images generated, it's time to bring them into Vidu to start generating video clips from those images. Just drop your image in, add a text prompt to go with it, or leave it blank, select the duration you want your clip to be, and then just click create. Vidu will then use your image to generate a video from it. The key here is experimentation. The more you experiment, the more you'll find out what works. In our instance, here's some tips that we found work best. 1. Just generate 4-second clips, especially when you're just starting out. Not every clip is going to be one you're going to use in your project, and if you create a clip you like, you can always extend it later right inside Vidu. 2. Keep the prompts simple. We found that simple prompts yield better results when creating anime with Vidu. Try prompts like hair blowing in the wind, eye twitching, stoic, or just leave the text prompt area blank. These gave us some pretty great results and should work well depending on your image reference. 3. Work with what you get. We're still in the early days of video generation, so be flexible. Mold what you're doing more to your results, not just the other way around. Unlike in most projects, we could actually come up with the dialogue after we already had the shots. Anime has the advantage of having a long history of dubs, where English voices are added where Japanese dialogue once was. We used that to our advantage by making it seem like it was dubbed. We also had a lot of leeway because we weren't restricted to using scenes from an actual finished film, so the dialogue could be made to match what we needed to tell in the trailer. For this, we used a tool called 11 Labs and their newer feature called Voice Changer. To do this, just go to 11 Labs, click on Voice Changer, and record a line of dialogue matching one of the video clips of a talking character you generated. Then select a new voice and hit Generate. 11 Labs will generate that same dialogue in the new voice, all while maintaining the exact same delivery. Once you have the finished audio clips, just drop them into your project where they fit and tweak them to taste, whether that be by adding audio effects, slowing them down or speeding them up, or just cutting them up into smaller chunks that better fit the timing of your project. One of the most important parts of any film project, especially a trailer, is the music. There's a few different ways you can approach this when making a trailer. The first is that you can take an existing song or a variation of a song and design the trailer around that. The second is that you can use individual sound design elements to create a musical structure for the entire piece. That's what we did here. First, we added some ominous repeating tones to set the vibe and sit behind the voiceovers of the dialogue-heavy section at the beginning. Then we added in some really heavy brams for the next section to turn up the intensity. Then we added in some risers at the end of each segment to create some suspense and auditory interest. Next, we added some miscellaneous trailer sound design between each section to tie everything together. Finally, we added in Foley and diegetic sound effects. Foley and diegetic sounds are the sound effects that have an on-screen source, like footsteps, gunshots, wind, or anything else that has an origin in the universe of the film that would make a sound. For all the sound design, we used a combination of our own sound effects libraries that are available in the Film Crux Store, like Singularity for cinematic sounds and Immersion for Foley, as well as other more specific sound effects from places like Splice. Once we had all the video clips, dialogue, music, and sound design in, all that was left to do was export it.
Overwatch, this is Alpha 2. It appears our double agent scheduled an unsanctioned meeting with foreign intelligence.
I'm in, but their net runners have already been taken offline.
Well, shit.
You know what my turn's on, mister. Let's drop the act and get to business, shall we?
I told you I didn't trust her at all when we brought her into the fold.
That's really not for you to say, is it? For all we know, she's still on mission.
Well, I'm not gonna wait around to find out.
If you want to see the full Deadlink trailer, you can see it on our channel or at the end of this video. Make sure to try out Vidu AI at the link in the description if you want to create your own anime, and we'll see you in the next one.